at noon.
Holiday travel is the name of the game today. Here's a live look at a couple of freeways in the metro area as folks head out for Thanksgiving. On the left of your screen, that is I-84 East near Lloyd Boulevard. And then on the right of your screen, I-5 South near Wilsonville. Things moving along pretty good at the moment. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. You know, nationwide, almost 55 million Americans will hit the roads, train stations, and airports for the long holiday weekend. We checked in with PDX this morning. The airport is expecting 500,000 passengers over the next few days. The terminal was packed, and so were the parking lots. Our KGW crew caught up with one family traveling with a first-time flyer.
Yeah, this is her first time traveling via plane, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So what's the advice that you've been given for traveling with a baby?
Patience. Just patience.
How cute is she? Yes, patience is key. Right now, FlightAware is showing a bunch of delays at PDX, so be sure to check your departure time. Let's check in with Rod now for a look at your weather forecast. Rod, it's off to a good start this long weekend.
Yeah, and for folks hitting the roads via their cars, we have completely dry weather today, completely dry weather tomorrow. So certainly getting to the dinner table should be quite easy. Cloudiness for the most part holding offshore. Now we still have low clouds and fog up and down the I-5 corridor. I'll show you that in a moment. But much of the Northwest is seeing sun. Here's how clear it is over Mount Hood. So clearly the Cascade Passes are seeing sunshine. And the coast is gorgeous. This is our Lincoln City camera, Schnickwinds Casino Resort. You can see how beautiful sunny that is. It still looks like mid-50s today at the coast and maybe some 60-degree temps tomorrow at the beach. And look at the sunshine parade continuing. This is out in the gorge where winds are light today. That's from the Oregon Veterans Home camera in the Dalles. Even in the metro, we're getting a mixed bag. It's now sunny in Oregon City. But look at downtown Portland. What a difference. Very foggy still. 45 is the temperature. The band of fog and low clouds has gotten really skinny right along 85 or I-5. So I do believe in the coming couple of hours, most areas will pop out of that and get the sun. That would get us up to about 50 and 44 at 8 o'clock. Brenda, we continue to expect snow in the Cascades the back half of the weekend coming in Saturday night and Sunday. More on that coming up.
We'll see you then. Thank you, Rod. Now to Virginia, where police say a Walmart manager opened fire in a break room, killing 6 co-workers. This happened last night in the city of Chesapeake. Officers say they arrived at the store 2 minutes after the first 911 call, and the suspect had already shot and killed himself. There's no clear motive for the crime, which put 4 people in the hospital. The gunman hasn't been publicly identified yet, but an employee who was in the break room and survived told the Associated Press her manager didn't say anything before opening fire. The FBI has now joined this investigation. Walmart put out a statement saying it's working closely with local law enforcement and is now focusing on supporting its employees. Also, the gunman accused of opening fire at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs appeared in court just over an hour ago. Anderson Lee Aldrich is facing murder and hate crimes charges. They are accused of killing 5 people and injuring 25 others at Club Q Saturday night. Here's what one survivor said.
I lost 2 of my dear friends in the shooting. And being in here, I could not go to any vigils. They took everything away as if they were trying to take my life as well.
Defense lawyers say Aldrich is non-binary. Court filings list the 22-year-old as using the they-them pronouns. Well, 1 hour from now, police in Moscow, Idaho will update their investigation into the mysterious death of 4 college students. They went to the University of Idaho and were killed at an off-campus apartment just over a week ago. Police still don't have anyone in custody, but they did reveal they're getting tips from the public. One tip claimed that the victim, Kaylee Gonzalez, may have had a stalker. Officers report they've examined hundreds of pieces of evidence and have not been able to identify or even verify that this stalker exists. Again, their latest press conference is less than an hour away. We will bring you the latest on air and online at kgw.com. Local pediatric wards and hospitals say the Portland area is in crisis mode. It comes after weeks of warnings about RSV and other respiratory illnesses spreading in our community. KGW's Alma McCarty spoke with doctors.
As masking and social distancing eased up post-pandemic, health experts say it's allowed respiratory illnesses to thrive. RSV hitting young kids, the elderly, and the immunocompromised especially hard.
It's coming at the beginning of the flu season as well, and we haven't gotten rid of COVID either. So it's a combination, sort of the triple whammy this year.
Now, hospitals around Portland, Oregon, and really the whole country are overwhelmed, in particular the pediatric units. Dr. Marianne Parsley, president of the Oregon Medical Association and a primary care physician in East Portland, explains.
If there aren't beds because they're all occupied by the RSV patients, it becomes really tough. And if you're talking about having to reassign staff to the pediatric units, then you have trouble staffing the adult units.
This week, OHSU Dornbecker ran out of pediatric ICU beds, and Randall Children's is postponing some non-urgent pediatric surgeries. Because they're in crisis mode, some patients in need of critical care are also being transferred to other hospitals.
I don't think that the hospitals in general are at the place they were at the peak of the Omicron surge, just because that tended to be more adult care and adult ICU care. But for the pediatric, there are less pediatric beds in the hospital because kids don't get sick at the same rate as adults do. And so they have fewer beds, fewer ICU beds, and therefore the capacity is being strained because of what we've got.
Since the vast majority of children who get RSV will have mild cases, doctors urge families to check with your primary care physician first and avoid the ER unless symptoms turn severe.
If the child is febrile, if they're looking like they're getting tired, if they're short of breath, if they're wheezing, absolutely take them to the emergency room, please.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
The city of Portland is trying to figure out where to put 6 large designated homeless camps. The mayor came up with this new plan and the city council approved it to get folks off the sidewalks and into services. Blair Best reports.
Mayor Ted Wheeler is in the process of meeting with all the city's neighborhood associations and business districts ahead of choosing where these large camping sites will be. Now, these sites are meant to be alternative options for people who are currently camping on the sidewalks, since, according to this plan, unsanctioned homeless camping will no longer be allowed.
It's probably going to be difficult to find those locations.
Betty Ann Gett has lived in Multnomah County for more than 50 years.
I would probably have some concerns, but I don't want to become one of those folks that say, not in my yard. I don't want to be one of them, but who knows?
Details of the camping site are outlined in this PowerPoint presentation created by the mayor's office. It says the 6 sites will be 2 to 4 acres and professionally managed. Each site will have up to 150 people at first. Somehow, they say it'll be near transit, but also distanced from residential areas, schools, and business districts.
I think there's a huge need to support our community and people experiencing homelessness, and I haven't seen a lot of drive from the mayor's office to really support people in need.
According to the mayor's plan, the sites will have 24-hour on-site security, including perimeter patrols 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. The city will also give each neighborhood $250,000 to hire their own private security.
I would feel pretty comfortable living near people like that and would hope to expand my community.
Now, there are many people who are apprehensive about this plan, especially when it comes to if these sites will be located in their neighborhoods. Just take a look at the City Safe for Us villages. It takes the city a long time to find a location for those, and people who live and work nearby still say that there's a lack of communication and sense of safety. And now those sites are just about 30 people. What the mayor is trying to do now is much, much bigger.
I live in this neighborhood, and I think it's a very nice neighborhood. I would not want to have a large group of homeless in here.
James Payne lives in the Beaumont neighborhood and fears designated camping sites would jeopardize his safety.
I think you would have the crime go up. That's the main thing.
The mayor is planning to meet with service providers and those experiencing homelessness next week. As for when we can expect him to announce the locations for this plan, we keep being told that will happen in the near future. Blair Best, KGW News.
In one of the closest congressional races this November, Democrat Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez is projected to win Washington's 3rd district. While we typically talk to candidates right after they win, it took 5 days for the Associated Press to call this race. Then Gluesenkamp-Perez was on a plane within hours for new member orientation in Washington, D.C. She just got back this week. So reporter Evan Watson sat down with her to find out how it went.
I have to say I did expect a little bit more integration between the Republican and Democratic side, but there are classes that we are separate. We have separate events. I think that's not ideal. I think it's critical that we make allies across the aisle early.
Do you feel like there's a sense of that in this freshman class of 43?
I think so. What I'm seeing, I've talked to plenty of Republicans who are excited about the issues I'm excited about.
You can find Evan's full interview with Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez right now on KGW.com and the KGW YouTube channel.